Good, happy Monday morning, December 30th, 2019. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, southwestern New Hampshire to see ice and freezing conditions. Officials caution residents to be safe. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Tim Callery.
At Chevy, we're all family. We're a festive family.
We're a get-up-and-go family. We're all part of the Chevy family.
Because our Chevy employee discount is still available to everyone.
The Chevy price you pay is what we pay.
Not a cent more.
So Happy New Year, and welcome to the family.
Current qualified Silverado lessees can use the Chevy employee discount for everyone to lease this Silverado All-Star for around $279 a month. Or get a total value of over $10,700 when you purchase.
Right now, power companies are preparing for this storm. Their main concern tonight, as we keep mentioning, ice causing some outages potentially. Our Tim Callery is live in New Ipswich tonight. That's one of the areas expected to be hit the hardest, Tim.
Well, that's right. We started to see some of that rain come down right around 7 o'clock tonight, and it's definitely slippery out here at this hour. You know, the last storm, we were dealing with several feet of snow here in New Ipswich, but now it looks like ice will be the problem. This is what New Ipswich looked like at the beginning of the month after a storm dumped 3 feet of snow. Now, another storm to end the month, but this one is bringing ice.
Well, I don't mind freezing rain because I don't have to shovel it. I'm still recovering from my bad back from last time.
But this storm will likely have its own challenges, primarily with outages. Eversource is closely watching the southwestern part of the state where ice is expected to build up.
As the tree limbs accumulate the ice and get heavier, they can come down on the wires, which is, the biggest threat to the system.
Eileen Couture remembers when an ice storm arrived here 10 years ago, cutting power to New Ipswich for several days.
So that was really scary not to have power for 10 days. So we're kind of hoping that's not going to happen again.
By nightfall, the rain had arrived and salt crews were hitting the roads. Eversource has hundreds of workers ready to respond to whatever comes our way.
We're going to have our crews come in early. We'll also have additional contract crews available as needed based on how the forecast goes.
Officials are also asking people at home to prepare as well.
Making sure that they have all the supplies they need in the event of an outage, checking on neighbors, things like that, and then also, being safe on the roads if they do have to drive.
And Eversource is reminding people to avoid any downed power lines.
Stay away from it. It could be a live line, so don't touch any down wires. Call 911, give us a call, and we'll get the appropriate people on scene to take care of that as quickly as possible.
And if you come across any down power lines on your property, the number to call to report them to Eversource is running at the bottom of your screen. But as I said, you can also dial 911 as well. We're live here in New Ipswich. I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Massachusetts family rescued after being stranded for hours in New Hampshire mountains. Driver blames GPS for mishap. A Massachusetts family with 5 children had to be rescued after their vehicle got stuck, stranding them for nearly 7 hours in Jefferson Notch Road in Jefferson, New Hampshire. New Hampshire Fish and Game officials say the driver was following his GPS trying to get back to the hotel from Brecton Woods ski area. It directed him to Jefferson Notch Road snowmobile trail. Officials say the driver tried to turn around, but that the minivan slid off the icy trail and got stuck in a ditch. Officials say there was no cell service, so the driver used his van's roadside assistant feature to call for a tow truck. The towing company took several hours to locate the vehicle, which was 2.4 miles up the trail. It took specialized equipment to access the trail and pull the van out. Fish and game officials used an ATV to shuttle the children and one of the adults back to Base Station Road. No one was hurt. By 2 a.m., the family and the vehicle were all safely back on the road and on their way back to the hotel in Gorham. Officials remind drivers that Jefferson Notch Road, like many seasonal New Hampshire roads, become snowmobile trails during the winter. They say the signing indicating that it was a trail at the beginning of the road, so the driver was cited for operating a conservational on a snowmobile trail. Authorities name deputy sheriff who shot and killed armed robbery suspect in Limerick. A suspect was killed in an officer-involved shooting in Limerick on Friday night, according to the Maine Attorney General's office. Deputy Sheriff Robert Carr responded to a robbery in progress at the Dollar General store in Limerick and engaged in an armed confrontation with the suspect, according to the York County Sheriff's Office. Police say the suspect was threatening an employee at gunpoint. Carr then shot the suspect, who died from a single gunshot wound, police said. As is standard procedure with the use of deadly force, the State Attorney General's office has joined the investigation. Deputy Carr is on administrative leave pending the investigation. Police would not identify the suspect who died and said no further information would be released until they complete the investigation. Officers with the York County Sheriff's Office closed off sections of Route 11 near the Dollar General store following the incident. As of Saturday morning, the roads are back open. This story will be updated. U.S. futures point to a slightly higher open. U.S. stock index futures were slightly higher Monday morning. Deadly shooting at Texas church. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
We begin with those disturbing attacks on religious services. First, the breaking news from Texas, a gunman opening fire inside a church near Fort Worth. The West Freeway Church of Christ live streaming the service as the man seen there at the top stood up from his seat, pulled out a long gun, and fired several times. Other church members right there shooting back. One victim was killed, another in critical condition. The gunman did not survive. And tonight, the hunt for a motive to a violent attack where worshipers should feel most safe. ABC's Marcus Moore leads us off.
Tonight, these shocking images out of Texas. Gunfire interrupting a quiet church service. The violence unfolding just minutes before 10 a.m., just as parishioners started receiving communion at the West Freeway Church of Christ near Fort Worth. The church live streaming the service. You can see the shooter sitting in the back of the room wearing a large coat. Watch as he pulls out a gun and aims it at a man nearby. Another man appears to reach for his weapon, but the gunman fires first, shooting him and a second man.
We're going to need help with patient care.
The gunshots sparking panic in the pews. Worshippers seen ducking for cover. One man covering his wife with his own body.
It was a sad thing that he had to come into the congregation and hurt people, and it's a sad thing that we had to hurt him.
In just seconds, several parishioners opened fire, hitting the gunman, who managed to fire one last shot before falling to the ground, dying at the scene. People rushing over and pointing their weapons at the suspect on the ground.
There are 2 people that were shot, and they died at a local hospital.
Several others hurt, one critically. The gunman also shot dead.
Today, evil walked boldly among us. And let me remind you, good people raised up and stopped it before it got worse.
Outside, officers swarming the scene, shutting down streets. Parishioners visibly shaken, hugging each other for comfort.
All right, Marcus Moore joining us now. And Marcus, this shooting only lasted a few seconds before a security guard and several armed citizens quickly intervened.
Oh, Whip, that's right. In fact, one man who said he had a relative inside the church at the time, he said he is thankful for so many good guys with guns. In the meantime, the investigation into a possible motive, Whip, is just getting underway.
All right, Marcus Moore, our thanks to you tonight.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all enjoyed watching, and have a great day, everyone. I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye, everyone.